art for the square. The students came up with the name because the project it focuses on a leisure square.
Our project's called Individuality for the Square because we are supposed to be promoting individuality in Cambridge through a sort of installation in the square.
Our project's called Bike Shelter, and it just focuses on how we're creating a kinetic sculpture out of bike parts using chains to move wheels and cogs, and that is planned to turn into a shelter.
Our project is called Conjunction because it's basically all about modular structure and about how it moves and comes together. So the conjunction behind coming together.
Our project is called Hexagon, and the inspiration behind it came from botanical gardens and nature.
We've learnt a lot of sort of drawing and sort of technical skills to begin with, but also sourcing materials I think was the main thing that we've all learnt, because to begin with we never sort of set up a project like this, and we're sort of thinking about how you need to think about every little thing. So we sort of contacted local artists. We tried to think about who would be using this space and who would want to look at these films and who would want to show their films.
I've learned many skills, including how to weld, angle grinding, and doing large sculptures out of metal and bike parts. For our project, the influence was light and how it can create atmosphere, and also we were looking at shelter and public shelter.
The main idea and message behind it is all about movement, and that's something that we've tried to carry throughout the process of developing our idea, is how these modular structures move to create different arrangements for different purposes, times of day, groups of people.
Our project will benefit the square from the contrast between the industrialisation of the junction and our exhibit, which is inspired by nature.
I think sort of initially it will bring more people to this side of Cambridge. It's a little bit out of the way from city centre, so I think having something which is a bit sort of different than rather just sort of cinema and bowling alley, it will bring more people over to the leisure square. It's massively lacking seating, so that's kind of the main reason and thing that inspired us behind our project, just try and create like an interesting space that's useful.
Yeah, we're hoping this project will open up conversations and debates with the public about how public space is used, and how art can help us kind of rethink public space.